Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. Folks, it's our job to give you those easy bits of world of sports, entertainment, odd news, and whatever else we happen to stumble across. Whatever we happen to stumble across. I stumble into words as we stumble across topics. It's great.
Yes.
Right off
you
the bat.
never know what you're going to get here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. It has never been more true.
Oh, my gosh. I got to get this off my head right now.
Okay.
Because I just want to explain something. Today, right, you'll agree with me. We talked before the show. It's a weird Tuesday here in Philadelphia. It was like dark as hell this morning.
Dark, dreary.
It was like a steady rainfall today. And like, I don't know, I feel like I just haven't woke up today. Like, you ever have one of those days?
It's
like,
not just the clouds in the sky. It's also the clouds in my head. Like, I woke up, I saw that it was dark and dreary and rainy, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing anything, and that's exactly what I did. I tried to do as little as humanly possible.
Yeah, and then
I think everybody sort of felt that way because,
right?
At least for me, like the first half of my workday, like literally nothing.
Yeah, so I'm already stumbling over my words here in the first minute of the show. So that's why. Here we go.
I blame the weather.
Yes. But anyway, weather aside, Mikey, my friend, how you doing? Before we get into all the personal bit, we'd like to let you know what's coming up in terms of our personal lives. So, Mikey, what are you up to? What's happening in Costanzo country?
Yeah, no, everything's going well. This weekend was a busy one. We were all over the place. We were over the girlfriend's family's house. We were over my family's house. We went to the movies. It was National Cinema Day on
you took
Saturday.
Advantage of that. Yep.
Which was, of course, just a marketing ploy to get people into theaters. But I will say,
I'd buy that for $1.
Well, $3.
$3.
Yeah, very
close enough. It was a marketing ploy. You know, it is what it is. It's just like all of a sudden they created a National Cinema Day.
Why not?
But it worked. And it was really exciting to see because I used to love going to the movies. And so, being back in a theater and just seeing it like packed full of people and just like that energy of like,
the audience.
Yeah, the audience and going to see, fun movies on the big screen, really get that theater experience. It was good to get a little taste of that again. I don't know if it's ever going to be the same as it was pre-pandemic, but it was good to get a little glimpse of that old style of, theater going experience. Yeah. We walked in and there were so many people at the concessions because we had gotten used to just waltzing in and nobody's there.
Yeah.
And then we walked in, it was mob. It was like,
of people.
Wow.
And then that made you not want to go back to the movies.
Well, that part was a little annoying. It was like, I have to actually wait for popcorn now. I can't just waltz up there and just, be first in line. But no, overall it was a fun experience. So we did that, and I spent a lot of time just lounging around, playing video games, watching TV. I tried to, keep it as laid back and relaxed as possible. So that's what I was doing. What about you? Did you do anything fun over the long weekend?
Yeah, so I'm playing my PlayStation 5. I'm catching up on the Horizon series, so I'm doing that. But in terms of movie reviews and stuff like that, watched Elvis. It came out on HBO Max this weekend.
Okay.
It was an interesting movie. I'm really impressed with Austin Butler's impersonation of Elvis.
People said that he should get nominated. I heard that.
He did very good.
When the movie first came out.
He did very good.
Okay.
He really nailed down like the young Elvis.
Okay.
He physically looks like him, and he was able to get all the mannerisms down. And it was something that I heard that because they were filming or they were doing pre-production for this movie and filming this during COVID, he had to stay in like active Elvis impersonation mode during COVID.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things you like. They were probably doing pre-production and then COVID hit, and or maybe they were filming and then like COVID hit.
Right.
So like you can't stop impersonating Elvis because then you're going to lose the
you're going to lose it. Yeah.
You're going to lose your
if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right. You're going to lose your impersonation of him and all the dance moves and stuff. So Austin Butler had a funny story that like during COVID he was just all Elvis. Like he still had to be Elvis.
You just answer the phone as Elvis.
Yeah,
Answer the
oh,
door as Elvis. Yeah.
Who is this?
You got to do what you got to do.
Baby, don't break my heart. Who is this? I don't know. I'm not.
Is that
Oh my
your?
gosh, I don't know.
You're making a play to star in Elvis 2.
No, absolutely not. I
The
can't.
re-Elvising.
I can't dance. I can't sing. No, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah. Blue, 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 Christmas. I don't know, that's the
Yeah,
only
no,
thing I can think
I'd
of.
never be able to do that.
Yeah. So definitely props to him. I will say though, I think it was kind of odd looking back at the whole movie. I think it's kind of odd that it's told through the manager's point of view, which is Tom Hanks' character. I'm sure that was a big reason that lured him into the movie because it's really, in some ways, the movie's more his character than it is about Elvis.
That's what I heard. It was more about their relationship, the relationship
Yeah.
of Elvis and the manager.
Yeah,
so,
Colonel Tom Parker, which
yeah.
is hilarious because he was never a colonel, and apparently that's not even his name. Like everything about him is fake, so it's great. But it's a little, I think, kind of, I don't want to say deceiving, but a little not as honest.
What, he used the name Colonel? Or,
No. That
or
the movie is like Elvis. The movie's called Elvis. Like
Oh, right.
you see all the posters. It's like you see Austin Butler as Elvis, but then you watch the movie and it's like, oh, the narrator is the manager, and I think like the first 5 minutes is nothing but the manager too. So you're like,
Huh.
I think I can kind of. I think it's a little dishonest, but maybe it also kind of works too because you kind of get the build up to when they do reveal Austin Butler as Elvis.
Right.
So I guess I don't know. I'm of two minds on it. I don't
You're
know if I
torn
like
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see what you're saying though. You're led to believe it's going to be one thing, and then
Yeah,
it feels slightly different when you actually get into it.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it was still a good movie. I'm glad I watched it. I don't know how much in terms of awards, it'll be successful at.
Okay.
But definitely, I would say Austin Butler. He did a fantastic job. If he gets nominated, I would support it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see when Oscar season rolls around in the entertainment entree. But you know what? Come on. If you guys know us here on the Crispy Noodle podcast, you know that there's one thing that we're waiting for. Both of us, we circle at this time of the year. If you still don't know, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer because let's officially launch into the sports sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha!
Yep, sports coming at you in your face, but really it's one big one. And that is
yeah.
because finally Labor Day's over. That officially kicks off the beginning of football season. Yes, folks, we are officially in football mode.
It's motherfucking goddamn sons of bitchin' fucking football.
Where are my Eagles?
Yes.
That's what I've been wanting to know. Where are my Eagles?
Yes, finally, after all, 8 months, or no, 7 months of the off season. I don't know. It felt like 9 months.
8, 9, 7, 12. Just throwing out numbers. What is this?
Hike. I was actually going into football mode already. No, it felt like
It's finally here, though.
it felt like both a momentous and long off season, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it was only 6 months. I guess
Yeah,
7 months.
The off season isn't that. It really isn't that long in the grand scheme of things.
Or the non-playing season, as the NFL wants to call it.
I'm always going to call it the off season, but
Yeah.
they can say whatever they want to say.
But yes, it's time. It's back. Week 1. The game's officially manner now where the starters are going to play. The stars you know and love or you hate, they're back on the field this week. We're going to get into specific games in just a little bit because Thursday night is the home opener. But I guess before we get into the individual games, how about just the general outlook on the Eagles this season? Where do you stand on that?
Where are my Eagles?
So I think I'm a bit.
Those damn barbarians have got my Eagles.
Who's got the Eagles? Where do you have them going this year?
So definitely just above
Those
barbarian.
damn barbarians have got my Eagles.
Definitely above barbarian level. Earlier in the off season, I was a little 50-50 on them. Then as we've gone through the draft, we've gone through free agency and the trade deadline, and we've slowly and steadily made more and more moves. now we're sitting here with a team that, to me, on paper, looks very complete, right? Of course, it's going to change when we actually see them on the field.
Yep.
But right now, if you just hand me, a roster of the 53 players and you have all the, 22 starters, that's a pretty good roster right there on paper. I mean, you made all the additions that you were supposed to make. You bolstered the positions that were starting to get a little thin at depth, and you upgraded at some key pieces like wide receiver, linebackers.
Howie did a fantastic job.
Did
I
an
think.
amazing job of rebuilding and really turning this team around. I just hope it can all gel together, because the vibe I'm seeing is it could go either, some people out there are saying, oh, it could be a repeat of 2017, which hold your horses.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I also see some people say
Eagles!
That's
Yeah.
those people.
right. I also, on the other hand, see people say, oh, could this be, Dream Team 2.0?
Yeah.
So you get both of these, wild ends of the spectrum, and I can see where both sets of people are coming from, but realistically speaking, with the division we're in, I think the Eagles have a really good shot. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm getting to that point where I am ready to start watching football. It's all sunshine and rainbows and puppies and kittens right now. And then, talk to me, week 4.
Yep,
we'll
when
see.
we're all
We'll
stressed
see.
out.
Yeah, we'll see if that opinion still holds true. But right now, I'm feeling very optimistic and just really excited to get back to watching football and seeing this team. It's so completely different.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm excited about. It's so completely different than last year.
Yeah, this does feel like a whole different team.
Yeah.
Considering that the wide receiver and the cornerbacks have been kind of reinvented. This is
Yeah.
not a traditional calling card of the Eagles. Usually it's traditional Andy Reid style. You build from the line and move outwards, and then if you happen to have enough cap left over, then you spend it on, those luxury pieces. But I feel like this year Howie has done the inverse. It's been work on the wide receivers, work on the cornerbacks, and then kind of work your way in instead of the other way around. So this is a completely weird new look in terms of, if you've been a previous Eagles fan.
We got really lucky. We had really strong building blocks
Yeah.
on the lines already. So it's like one of those rare seasons where we could do that.
Yep. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
That's why Howie had to play the offseason the way he did, because this leaves no room for doubt. Jalen Hurts has to have a very good season this year. There's no reason why he can't. There's so many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. The defense is going to be strong enough that they're not going to cost games. There's no reason why Jalen Hurts can't succeed with the team that he's being given heading into week 1.
Yeah.
So it's the ultimate make or break. And if he doesn't do it, well, guess what? There's 2 first-round picks next year that Howie can use to, maneuver and try and grab one of the 6 top quarterback prospects in next year's draft.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a very quarterback-heavy draft. And we've been positioned brilliantly because we have all these young pieces in place. As you point out, if Jalen Hurts works out, great. We can ride this young team for a couple of years. We have one of the youngest in the league, I think, now, which is a huge turn from previous seasons. But if Jalen Hurts doesn't work out, we got like you said, we got those 2 first-round picks, and we can still hopefully roll right into another. Maybe we strike gold twice and find another, young, competent quarterback in next year's draft. There's just a lot of things to look forward to with the Eagles.
And I feel like Howie's done a good job planning for both Plan A and Plan B.
Yeah. I feel like, going into previous seasons, it was always kind of like, all right, here we go again. But this year, it feels a little different.
Yep. So what is your final expectations for the Eagles? I'm going to go with 10 wins. They should get 10 wins. With this current team, I think they get 10 wins, possibly the division as well.
Yeah, I don't think 10, even 11 wins is out of the question. I feel like that's a very attainable win total.
Yep.
Honestly,
if they don't get 10,
if they
Jalen Hurts is gone.
Yeah, if they don't get 10, it's very concerning. This team was built to win 10-plus games.
Yep.
Now, I don't think they're going to, get up to 12, 13 wins like some of the other elite teams in the league, but like somewhere in that like 10, 11-ish range, they absolutely should be able, minimum 10 at most. If they have a spectacular season, maybe like 12 at the very, very most, but like somewhere in that range.
Yep. So since we're predicting games, that's probably a good transition into our regular segment during the NFL football season, and that is the bit where we are going to go over 4 games that we think are very important each week, and we're going to give you our honest breakdown and opinions of those games. So I am loading up the new, our new Fantastic Four pick here, and here we go. Yes, it's our new synthwave
Nice.
Fantastic Four pick music. Locked and loaded. What are our 4 games that we are going to review, Mike?
All right, first up, we have the season opener itself and possibly maybe a Super Bowl preview. It seems like these are the 2 teams that everybody's going to be talking about all season long. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to LA to face off against the Rams. It's a Thursday night game. If you're listening to the podcast, it's probably either tomorrow or the day that you're listening to this.
Yep. This is it. The opener.
So, for me, I have always, the past couple of seasons, really, really liked the Bills. I think that early in the season, the Bills are going to be able to go into LA. LA doesn't really pose much of a home field advantage. I think they're going to be able to go in there against a tired LA Rams team. Everyone's like, they just won the Super Bowl. Yes, but that means that they also played so many extra games. And also, it was the first season with the 17 games as well.
Yes.
So, Matt Stafford, history of injuries throughout his career, and he's getting old. I don't think it's much of a stretch to imagine this team is kind of battered, a little tired from a super, super long season. That's why it's so hard to repeat in the NFL, because making it all the way to the big game takes a lot out of your team. I think the Bills here come in and they steal a win against the Rams at home to kick off the season strong.
Yeah, I think so too. Although I will say this is a 50-50 toss-up. I think this is going to be a great game to start off the season. I think Bills just get the edge.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bills are going to have a chip on their shoulder, especially with the way how last season ended in that super explosive offensive division game that could have went their way, but it just didn't. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to come out week 1 and show the Super Bowl champs who's the new ranking team in town.
Absolutely, yeah. So there you go. Both of us going Bills on that one. Next up, we have a pair of high-flying offenses. We have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Arizona to face off against the Cardinals. This is a Sunday afternoon game. Rich, do you think that the Chiefs are still one of the top dogs in the AFC? And where do you think the Cardinals fit in the NFC? Do you think they are still just as threatening or more threatening as they were last year?
I think you might disagree with me on this one. I still think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a team to contend with, even in the stacked AFC. I mean, I know they lost Tyreek Hill, but they picked up Juju. They still got weapons on the offensive side of the ball. And Mahomes, I think, might be able to be better off in terms of using different key cogs throughout the season. I think it might actually end up being a benefit for the Chiefs. On the other hand, the Cardinals, I'm actually kind of low on this year. They're losing DeAndre Hopkins for 6 games. Everyone's forgetting about that. They do not have one of their top wide receivers for the first half of this season, and that's when the Cardinals are usually good. So, I don't know, between that and they're kind of known for falling apart later in the season, I think this is Chiefs all the way.
Yeah, so I think the Chiefs window is closing, but it's not closed yet. I think as Mahomes gets further into that monster deal, it's going to be harder and harder for them to compete eventually. But right now, early in this season, they're going to come out. They're going to show they're just as formidable. I'll
even go far. Take whatever the point spread is. I'd say take it.
Really?
I think the Chiefs kind of win this one heavy-handedly.
Okay. I mean, it's going to be...
I like the Chiefs in this one.
Wow. So pretty confident with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one. I'm not as confident because the Cardinals are still a formidable team with Kyler Murray, their quarterback. But I still think the Chiefs squeeze out a win here. Next up, we have a battle in the North. we have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Minnesota to face off against the Vikings. This is a battle between two amazing league-leading quarterbacks. Oh, my God, just the best of the best, cream of the crop. Rich, who's going to come out on top of this one?
You throw up at that statement?
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right. Mike's probably gonna hate me for this one too, but I dig the Vikings in this matchup. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has caused a lot of drama this offseason. It's very unpacker-like. They don't have Devontae Adams, which, you know, that's gonna definitely hurt that offense. And I don't know if the remaining wide receivers are gonna pick up the slack when Aaron Rodgers has been calling them out during practice. So that's a little drama there. But Minnesota, they're going to be at home for this one. They always give the Packers fits. The Packers, in terms of regular season, they have lost only 6 games. They've only lost 6 games, 6 or 7 games the last 2 seasons. All of them were away. So that's already a bad sign. But the one that was at home that they did lose in the last 2 years was against the Vikings. So either way, I'm going to say between the fact that the Packers are on the road and between the fact that the Vikings give them trouble and the fact that this is early in the season with a whole bunch of new receivers, I do not like Green Bay in this matchup. I like Kirk Cousins in this. This seems like a Kirk Cousins spot to shine.
You know, I almost wish I didn't have to pick this because literally 2 of my least favorite quarterbacks going up against each other. As you point out, Rodgers, the most diva of divas. They got Kirk Cousins, who just always annoys me. But it pains me to say I do have to kind of agree with you here. I just don't. I see the Packers as being like really on the downswing here. They are without, like you said, Devontae Adams, which is huge.
Yeah.
And I know, you know, Rodgers is good. He can elevate the players around him, but he was actively complaining about those players throughout the preseason. So, you know, I can't foresee them stepping up and punching above their weight class all of a sudden week 1 on the road. It just doesn't make sense to me, right?
Yep.
And the Vikings, meanwhile, are pretty much the same team. You know, they haven't had like too much
with Jalen Reagor.
With Jalen Reagor, you know, if anything, they got better. So I think take the safe bet here. Go with the Vikings at home. Green Bay, it's going to take them a while to get that new look offense going. They lost a couple of key pieces. I think they lost somebody on the line. They lost Devontae Adams. Yeah. So it's going to take them a little while to get used to things. Another team who may take a while getting used to things, the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Detroit to kick off their season. Rich, we have a completely revamped team. How much do you think they'll beat the Lions by?
1 possession.
1 possession?
Yeah, I will. I think this game's going to be closer than people think.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, you heard me that we're playing the Lions, right?
Yes. Detroit actually got better this offseason, slightly. I mean, look, the Lions were starting off, 0-10 last year? So, I mean, look, the bar is pretty low here. But
that's true.
The Lions have actually improved over in the offseason. And, you know, they have some key pieces on the offensive side of the ball. DeAndre Swift was actually having a good season until he got hurt in the 5th game of last season. You know, Jared Goff is also, you know, he might be in the twilight of his career, but he's not at the end. There's some pieces there to work with. In that division, I would pick them 3rd.
Wow.
The Lions are going to be, you know, I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs or something. But
of all the lackluster teams I thought you'd be positive on, I don't think that I would have picked the Lions.
Yeah, they've made some moves.
Okay.
But I think the Eagles still take it. Don't worry.
I think the Eagles win. I think it's by 2 possessions. I think they come out, they're high-flying with their brand-new offense. They're going to show off their new toys. A couple deep passes to A.J. Brown. I'm ready to get things going. Go Birds.
That is true. And, hey, it's good to say that and actually be able to look forward to an actual Eagles game coming up. So there you go, folks. Our fantastic 4 picks for week number 1 of the NFL season. Oh, yeah.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back. We're refreshed with new music. Oh,
What did you say the NFL slogan was? It feels good to football.
Yes, that's the actual new slogan.
God, what is wrong with everyone?
Yeah,
Anyway,
did the Jets marketing department invade the NFL's marketing department or something?
my-
'Cause
it,
between that and was it all gas, no break? What is
that's what it was. All gas, no break.
Oh, God, stupid.
Ag
Damn
nib or
Jets.
something like that. So dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Before we wrap up our football segment, we do have to get to a segment where we're going to hit a couple topics as fast as we can in 3 minutes or less with our unique segment, if you will, the 3-minute drill. Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
All right. And the clock is armed and go. What's the topic?
All right, first up in the 3-minute drill, the Eagles season is underway, but there will be one player who won't be joining us for the opener. That's offensive tackle Andre Dillard, who broke his arm in practice. He will be out a reported 4 to 6 weeks. This is definitely a blow to O-line depth, but luckily the Eagles have a ton of players to fill in if they need to. Andre Dillard, of course, was a backup, but a very important backup backing up Jordan Mailata.
Yeah, and
Rich,
I think he
this
was
injury,
just,
is
he
this a
was-
big injury for us?
Somewhat, because he was also, I think, just a general utility guy too on the line too. If anybody else went down,
Yeah.
so it's basically he's like your 6th offensive lineman. So it could have been worse, but at the same time, definitely something that's newsworthy and something you need to keep an eye on.
Yeah, so we're going to be missing him the first month and change. But there is another offensive line injury, and that's, of course, the injury to Dallas Cowboys' Tyron Smith. They lost him for the season. They are trying to patch up that offensive line, and they are really scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think they've punched through the bottom of the barrel. They're digging up like dirt from underneath it because they signed Eagles legend Jason Peters. He's been out of football. Where did they drag this guy up from retirement?
Yeah, but you know what? I bet you he still got some gas left in the tank.
Did you watch him the last time he played in Philly?
Yes, but I think maybe he's still got a little bit left.
What is this, the Seinfeld episode where they're driving past the E?
Yes, exactly. Yes, there's gonna be a little bit left.
Okay, fumes.
Right.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, like this is definitely a desperate move here, but at the same time, it's still Jason Peters. I wouldn't take him lightly.
That's true. I mean, he is the bodyguard. It really pains me to see him in Dallas gear.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird.
It's going to be super weird and very upsetting. You know what else is upsetting? Russell Wilson and his Denver Broncos deal. The team and the quarterback have agreed to a massive 5-year, $245 million deal, $165 million guaranteed. I saw a comment, a few posts online that say that this contract is actually bad for quarterbacks because he didn't get enough guaranteed money.
Yeah.
You know where I stand on this, though.
Yeah, he didn't get the Deshaun Watson guaranteed package.
Good.
Yeah, but for quarterbacks, it's not good.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's over there like, really, guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to get this big contract over here. What the hell?
Because you look at some of these numbers, they are eye-popping. 2025, 2026, $55+ million. Wow.
Woo. Oh, yeah, this is definitely a big contract. Ties Wilson to Denver until he's...
What'd you say, like 38, 39?
Yeah, close to 40. So
At
it's...
$54 million at the age of almost 40, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
There's going to be a lot of money going his way if he actually plays that long. There is an out clause in 2026, but even if that does happen, they still owe him $31 million to not play if they decide to cut strings with him.
That's a pretty good gig. I've been not playing my entire career.
Yeah. How do I get that
So
contract?
can I get that one?
Yeah. So there you go. A crazy amount of money there. But Denver, that's why they traded for Russell Wilson. They still think that he can be a franchise quarterback.
They see this as the second coming of Peyton Manning. When they signed Peyton Manning, then the very next year they
look,
they won
that
the Super Bowl.
division is going to be crazy between Derek Carr,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
What a division.
that might be the toughest division in all of football.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, the Broncos and the Raiders will like struggle between third and fourth, with both of them having winning records, probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Easily.
It's gonna be. That might be a situation where we might see a 12-5 team not make the playoffs.
I mean, like, look at these teams. You have Carr throwing to what's his name?
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. You got Wilson throwing to Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
You got Justin Herbert, who's putting up numbers left and right, and then of course you still have Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
You have 4 of the top 10 quarterbacks, I think.
Yeah.
In one division.
It's gonna be weird. One of those teams have to finish 4th place.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you get bored, if you guys ever get bored, there's a website called NFL Playoff Predictor.
Well, no, there's a 7th playoff team.
Yeah, so they can't have everybody go.
They can have every single.
They could, but
That would be wild.
But somebody is going to be in 4th place in that division.
Yeah, that means that whoever's in 4th place gets that 4th place schedule
Yeah.
the next year.
Right.
It's like rigging the system.
A little bit. Yeah. But if you guys get bored, there's a website, NFL Playoff Predictor. I think it's .com. I don't know. Something to that tune. And this guy loads up the entire schedule, and you can manipulate who wins, who loses, and what, and shoots out like by your picks
Yeah.
who makes the playoffs. And I did a simulation, and it is possible that all those teams could finish 12-5 in that division.
Wow.
And it wasn't that far-fetched. Like, it was a little far-fetched, but not crazy far-fetched. Like, I've seen worse. I've seen crazier things happening. I've seen the Jaguars beat the Colts on the last day of the season to screw the Colts. So there are weird things that can happen throughout the course of the season that can lead the final tally of the standings to be something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Where 4 teams are 12-5 in the division.
There's every once in a while you end up with a situation where a 10-6 team or a 9-7 team misses the playoffs. So it's not that crazy
Well,
of a
the
stretch.
AFC this year is going to be so competitive.
It's so stacked.
You might see a 10 or 11 win team miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be bonkers.
I mean, just the one division alone has 4, potentially
Yeah,
4
right
of the
there's
7
4.
spots. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you come in second in one of the other divisions and you're 10-7, you've already missed it.
Probably. With the way, at least the way it's looking.
Meanwhile, in the NFC, the Eagles could come in third and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, it just in the NFC, are you a competent team?
Yeah.
Have you put together the right group of people?
I can count the number of good teams on like 3 fingers in
Yeah.
the NFC. It's the Rams, the Packers, and the Bucks. Barely.
Bucks
the Packers and the Bucks.
Oh,
They could
Bucks,
both be on. They could both be on the downslope.
Yeah. So we will see. But you know what? This is just good to really end the note on what the button of this segment is that football is back. We're all excited, ready to go.
It feels good to football.
Yes, it does. It feels good to football. That stupid catchphrase, but you know what? It is actually pretty true. So, you know what? Run with it.
Sure.
And we'll enjoy the first week of the NFL season this weekend. Oh, my gosh. Eagles coming back. Go Birds.
Yeah.
And we'll see how the rest of the league does as well. But for right now, we got to wrap up the Sports Sampler. That was a lot of football we threw at you, so we'll cleanse the palate. But don't go anywhere because we still got the entertainment entree and then the non-fortune cookie odd news coming your way. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
Oh, yeah. We're back here on the Crispy Noodle podcast. Oh, man. Yeah, it feels good to finally get back into like a regular swing of football news.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. I'm looking so forward to this weekend. Crashing on the couch watching the Eagles. Watching Thursday Night Football. Thursday Night Football's back.
It's going to be amazing. I'm so
Yes.
excited just to finally... Preseason is so boring and so stupid.
Yes. So,
I watched like half of a game. I'm like, all right, that's enough.
yes. So we are happy that football season is finally coming back, and we're going to give you week-by-week coverage. That's another thing, too, is we do the podcast weekly. So football is like the best way to do a podcast because it is almost like a TV show. It's like every week there's a new game development, new episode development, a new,
Yeah,
like it flows more
absolutely.
like a TV show.
Yeah, it really does.
So
It's the perfect thing.
yes. Speaking of TV shows, I think that's a good transition into our second batch of news here on the Crispy Noodle podcast. We like to review some movies, TV, video games, celebrities, stuff like that. In the second part of the show, the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. Especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music,
I know what that is. That's music.
video games,
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
celebrities,
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
and more.
You're the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, and we're going to kick off the entertainment entree with the segment where Mike is going to let you know what you should keep an eye out for this upcoming weekend besides football. If you're not of the football persuasion, if you want to explore some other things in video game, movies, and TV this weekend, listen to Mike with Mike's This Week in Entertainment. All right, Mikey, what do you got for us?
All right, first up in video games, a new month equals new free games for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold subscribers. So make sure you log on to your respective storefronts and grab your free games for the month. In movies, there's a live-action remake of Disney's Pinocchio coming to Disney Plus this week because, sure, why not?
Woo! Yeah.
I don't know why all of the live-action remakes for all the Disney classic.
Yeah, this is happening with all of them now.
It's been most of them. It's Jungle Book, Aladdin. They did Lion King weirdly. They did Beauty and the Beast. They are doing Pinocchio now. I think they have Little Mermaid in the works. I don't know why they decided to. It's just so weird to see them as live-action movies. There's no reason. There's no reason. What?
I'm sorry. I just thought of a funny story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, do regale us.
So we have this running joke, right? That I don't know Disney, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just never grew up with Disney. So we're at my family's Labor Day picnic, and the subject came up, and my wife Rachel goes to my mom and goes, "How come you never made him watch Disney as a kid?"
Okay.
And she goes, "Oh yeah, he watched Home Alone." And we're all like, "That's not Disney." She thought certain movies
Were Disney movies?
because they were kids were Disney.
That explains a lot.
That explains a whole lot of my upbringing that I don't know any of this
movie
stuff.
has kids in it. This is a Disney movie. Nope. Not it.
Yeah. So that has
You watched a lot of Disney, quote unquote, movies.
yeah. It was just general PG movies.
Yeah. We have
That
Disney
was-
at home.
Yeah. Home Alone.
Yeah.
Or Home Alone 2.
Or Home Alone 3.
She thought those were Disney. So I think
right.
that explains a lot. This is
So-
why I don't know anything about Disney.
So they're making these live action remakes for you. That's who they're making them for. Is for someone
Apparently.
like you who only watched Home Alone as
Yeah.
his Disney movies.
Yeah, my mom thought that was Disney.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Those kids watch it.
well, you can both sit down and watch Pinocchio on Disney Plus this week if you want to.
Oh boy.
Just bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. But instead of movies, check out TV because it's a big week for television. There's 2 great shows coming back. Cobra Kai Season 5.
Oh, my gosh.
Netflix. Rich, how excited are you?
Oh, very much so. I love this series. This is how you reboot a franchise properly. In a way, I hate to say it, but Cobra Kai, especially like Season 3, did Star Wars better than Star Wars should have done.
You've said that, yeah.
They have done the right blend of taking a property from the 70s or 80s and turning the strict good guy versus bad guy motif into just gray areas and different ways to enhance the universe and expand the universe. They've just done everything right as far as I'm concerned with this show, and I cannot wait to see what they do for Season 5. I really hope that it's just as good as the other 4 seasons.
Yeah, I have high hopes for it because, like you mentioned, it's a little corny, a little on the nose, but they really do a good job of presenting really interesting moral dilemmas for these kids.
Yeah.
They keep it light with some humor. It's zany, and it knows it's zany with all the karate fights. Like, it's not trying to be anything more than what it is. So it's going to be a funny, melodramatic, interesting, good time. It's a great show to sit down and just eat an entire bag of popcorn to and just enjoy it. It's just pure like entertainment bliss.
Yep.
It's not too heavy, it's not too trashy. It's just right.
Right. Yep. They strike the right chords.
Yeah.
Especially with the 80s music.
Yes. Another show that I think strikes all the right chords is Central Park on Apple TV Plus. This is going into its 3rd season. It's been nominated for several Emmys the past 2 seasons. It has a star-studded cast. It's got Leslie Odom Jr., Daveed Diggs. It has Kristen Bell, Titus Burgess, Stanley Tucci. And the list just goes on and on. It's an animated comedy, musical comedy. It's all entirely musical. It's fantastic. Every episode has like 3 or 4 different numbers they all perform. About a family who lives in Central Park. The father is the park manager, ranger person, and they're just trying to protect Central Park from getting bought out by greedy landlords who want to develop it into a shopping center, basically. And so it's a family animated musical comedy. It is so good. One of those underappreciated Apple TV Plus shows. I absolutely love it. It's so catchy. So if you have Apple TV Plus, go check out Central Park. If you don't, you have Netflix, go check out Cobra Kai Season 5. Lots of great TV. That's what we're looking forward to this week in entertainment.
All right. And, of course, football's back. So there you go. Everything's happening this weekend.
There's so much that you can do in entertainment and sports. It's a really, really good week. But I do have I wanted to talk about a few entertainment properties that I checked out last week.
Yep.
Specifically on National Cinema Day, I mentioned that earlier. I went and saw a movie. I saw Jordan Peele's latest film, Nope, in theaters. And this weekend, I mentioned I got a chance to play some video games. I played Inscription, which I mentioned in This Week in Entertainment last week. I was able to finish that on PlayStation 5. And this has kind of got me thinking, these 2 properties, because I was discussing with my brother about how Inscription was so good. It's one of the most unique gaming experiences I've ever had in terms of the way the story is told and the way the gameplay mechanics constantly evolve. I said to him, it's so good. I was surprised at the price point. I would have paid more to play this game. Mm. I feel like it's a very rare thing where you say, well, I would have paid more to experience this thing. On the inverse of that, having seen Nope for discounted prices, I'm a huge fan of Jordan Peele. You go in expecting one thing, and you end up getting something else. And that's not to say it was a bad movie, but at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty happy that the movie tickets were discounted.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite what I was expecting. It dragged a little bit at the end, and it was more, at times, a little like too much. It was like near the end, it was like just one long action chase sequence, and I'm like, this is not Get Out or Us from Jordan Peele. Like it's didn't have the social horror elements and the horror comedy elements to it, not as much as the other movies did. So I was left a little wanting there. But it got me thinking about this topic in particular, which is kind of a weird topic, but bear with me here. Are there movies, games, books, entertainment things in general that you've experienced that you would either pay more to experience, something that was so good, you're like, wow, I can't believe I got it at this price? And conversely, are there entertainment properties that you've experienced and thought instant buyer's remorse, buyer's regret, like, I wish I hadn't spent all that on that property?
Well, it's interesting you phrase it like that, because I think there should be like a general standard for video games and movies.
Well, that's a good point. What is the cost to enjoyment index here?
Yeah, because when it comes to video games, my system of tiers is like, I have to get it on day one.
Right.
Wait for a sale.
And then if there's nothing else, bargain bin stuff.
Maybe like play it for free or super cheaply if I get a chance to, and then absolutely avoid it.
Right.
So there is like kind of this weird.
You have a tier system, yeah.
Yeah, like
the games you have to play, God of War,
right? Like
Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto.
Like God of War Ragnarok, when that comes out,
that's a day one.
I'm getting I want that. I want to see that. I want to see the conclusion,
right,
to what happens from the first game. Then there's like that like if it goes if there's a sale, all right, then I'll.
You got
buy
the Horizon bundle,
right?
There
Horizon.
You go. Yeah,
I wasn't
paid a little bit extra, and you weren't really sold on it.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna I was like 60-40. I don't know if I'm gonna like this game or not.
Right.
So I waited on a sale for that. So
there you go.
I did it for that. And then there's kind of like, if it's like a couple bucks, maybe I'll take a flyer on it. One of those would probably be those full movie video games, like Erica and
right, like those ones,
yeah, where they're
Erica's the only one I can think of right now.
Late Shift is another good one.
Okay,
like
you're into those, aren't you?
I do. I like those choose your own movie adventure type games,
but at a steep discount.
But it shouldn't be near full price.
Right.
Because sometimes they charge that for like $25-$30. It's like,
ooh,
no.
So this goes back to my point of Inscription. So it was a $20 game, and I played it. I'm embarrassed to say how much I actually played it, but I played it a lot this weekend. And I had
but did you liked it?
I liked it, and I felt like I got my money's worth.
That's great.
I feel like I got the $20 worth, and like I want to go back. I want to continue to even go through it again, another time. Like that's how much I enjoyed it. Like the $20 got me a full playthrough, which it was a ton of time that I sunk into it over the weekend, and I want to keep playing it. And in my mind, I'm like, if that had been a $30, even a $40 game, I feel like I would have felt content with paying that.
Yeah.
Because there's some games now that are $70 that are still 6-7 hour experiences. Is that okay?
It depends on if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then I wish you could have paid less.
Have you ever experienced that? Have you paid $60, $70 for a game and immediately thought, I wish I had waited? So I'm trying to think if there's one for me. There was one recently, Deathloop, where I know exactly what you're going to say because we talked about it before.
Yeah.
But I played two recently, Hades and Deathloop, which were both more than Inscription. Both got rave reviews, and immediately I was like, God, I can't believe that I paid this much to play these games. I can't. You're grimacing because I know exactly what you're gonna say, and I can't wait to touch on it. But go ahead, tell me.
Yeah,
You gotta bring it up.
Yeah,
because I know it left a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Last of Us Part 2.
Ooh.
Yeah,
There it is.
That's probably the last major one I felt disappointed in.
Yeah, what's funny is you're actually not in the minority there. I feel like a lot of people felt that way. I personally didn't. I enjoyed Last of Us 2, but a lot of people felt let down.
And it's not even the whole what was her name? I forget her name now. That's how
Abby.
It's not even the whole Abby storyline. I actually didn't mind it. I thought it was an interesting new character.
It was the end that bothered you. From
It
what
was
I
the
remember.
end, and just like the sheer being sad for the sake of being. Like that.
Was
game
it like
felt,
tragedy porn to you at
Yeah,
times?
it was like over the top. Like how much crap can we like cover the player while he's playing this game and make him feel like a pile of crap?
Yeah,
you know.
I mean,
Like,
I definitely
it got
see
too much.
Yeah.
It was like, I can understand you want to make a mature story, you want to make a very heavy story, but at times it got to the point where I was like, you're really like actively making me feel depressed, and that's not what a video game
The
should.
Last of Us trauma simulator.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that should have been labeled that.
Right.
You know. So I was.
I
wish
the rating was T for trauma,
yes.
and D for depression. It was.
Yeah.
It was a very, very. I see what you're saying. Like, I personally enjoyed the game and enjoyed the story. I don't mind. Sort
you
of
sick son of a bitch.
I was like, that's right, suffer.
You masochist.
Yeah, what does that say about me?
Yeah. You flare yourself while you're playing the game. you're, what's that? The white guy in the Da Vinci Code. You're that guy. Save me, Abby!
Giving myself lashes as I'm playing through every cutscene.
I'm sorry.
I like the pain. But
this is why you gotta listen to the whole show.
Right, you wouldn't learn that about me if you had tuned out after sports, guys.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Just
I'm very glad to hear that, Mike.
Well, it was very erotic. Yes, indeed. It was erotic.
I'm sorry, Abby. I'm sorry.
I want it to hurt. I want to feel the sting. No, but I definitely
I'll never let you go, Joel. It was my fault.
Oh man, that was messed up.
It was my fault.
Oh god. But weird whipping aside, I can definitely see how that game was a little much at times. You're not gonna be able to stop now. The segment's done.
That's great. I just I'm just imagining that Da Vinci Code scene, just like dark room and like the only glow from the TV. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Sorry. All right, there you go.
Oh, but yeah. So I can see what you mean about Last of Us. I can see what you mean about Last of Us Part 2. But yeah, and now my whole train of thought is just gone. No, but it is one of those things you mentioned about having that tier where there's certain games where it's day one and movies day one, like any Marvel film I want to try and go see opening weekend. As sad as it is to say, there's lots of movies, specifically like the fall dramas, which I'll wait until they come out on streaming services or on demand, because I don't feel that I want to pay $15 to go see a talking head movie that would have the same impact on a small screen. And Steven Spielberg is out there somewhere, throwing a fit in his $100 million mansion because I'm killing cinema. But that's the reality of it. If I can watch the talking heads on Netflix, 6 months later, I'm going to do that. I don't need to see the talking heads on the giant IMAX screen. You know what I mean? Yeah. How do you feel about?
Yeah,
that?
movies are there's
another tier.
Yeah, like it's another tiered system where it's like, which ones do I need to see on a big theater screen?
Star Wars, yes.
And which ones
Marvel,
can I
yes.
wait for? On streaming services and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to see a movie and immediately thought, man, I paid way too much for this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a couple of those.
There was one we got in to see free, and I thought that was still too much. After Earth, starring Will Smith. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah. We
got in for free.
We
and I was
actually
like,
got free tickets to that.
And I was like, man, this was not worth the cost of gas to drive here to see this movie.
That's why they're giving tickets away for free.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was bad.
There's every once in a while, I also saw Suicide Squad, the first one.
Yeah, not the Suicide Squad.
No, just Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
In theaters, and immediately I was like, I wonder if I can ask for a refund. it was that. If you haven't seen it, it's bad.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I come across a property where obviously buyer's remorse, but every once in a while, like Inscription, I'm like, you know what? I probably would have paid a little bit extra.
Yeah.
To experience that.
Yeah. Let me end it on a positive note.
Yeah. What do you got?
The one that I would say is a more recent edition of what you just said for me is going to be Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh yeah,
I bought that game. I think you downloaded it as part of the PlayStation Plus bundle or whatever. But I actually had a friend of mine who said, "Rich, you got to play this game. Like this is a fantastic game." At the time, it was only on Steam.
Okay.
So I loaded up my laptop and went on Steam and purchased the game. At the time, it was only like I think it was $29.99, which. That's reasonable for a relatively new game.
And now looking back.
And even now, I'm like, this is a fantastic game. It's great co-op. It's basically a game where you're fighting aliens so that you can dig for materials to support your corporation.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it. It's really fun.
Yeah,
it's unique.
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously. It has great art in it. It's wacky worlds. It's just fun too when you're in co-op.
Yeah,
it's a fun co-op game, and that would be one. I was like, all right. I think I really got. I would have paid a little bit more if it.
Knowing what you know now,
right?
That's like a $40-$50 like purchase.
Yeah. So that one, like, that would be my latest game that I was really blown away by the price point.
Yeah. Another one off the top of my head. It sounds kind of like what do you call it? A cheap answer, but something like a Grand Theft Auto or like even like Sony's Spider-Man. Just tons and tons of time you can sink into those games, and you're really getting not just an empty open world, but a living open world.
Mm-hmm.
That just, it really gives you your money worth.
Well, Rockstar would love to have you pay more for another edition of Grand Theft Auto 5.
I already did that once, and I'm not doing it again.
You can do it again.
And I'm not doing it for The Last of Us Remastered on PlayStation 5 either.
Oh, you're not going to whip yourself to the
No, I'm not going to whip myself to that one. No. Not for $70. If it's on sale, maybe, but not for $70.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're breaking your oath.
I know.
What else?
What a shame.
Yeah. What else are you going to whip yourself to?
I'll find something. It's getting a little weird.
Last night, yes? Some very extreme nastiness, yes? Yes.
So it's getting a little weird. It's getting a little late in the night. You know what that means? That means it's time to leave entertainment behind and head into an even weirder segment, if you can imagine it. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Mandada basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meet tornado.
No, go past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for hell, right?
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news here in this segment. Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing the story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths. And I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to?
All right. This time we're actually going to the border.
Whoa, we're
Yeah.
not going to Florida. We're going to the border.
Yeah,
All
you know
right.
what? Florida had a run there. You know, they got
They
a little
did.
tired. They got Labor Day. You know, they had to take a break.
They need a break, too.
Yeah, so they took a little bit of a break here. I'm sure they'll be back.
We'll
soon.
get the Labor Day stories next week.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be coming up soon. So instead, we're going to the border.
Okay.
Woo!
Down south
Yep.
or up north?
Down south. We're going to the U.S.-Mexico border here.
Okay.
And we're going to check in on the U.S. Custom and Border Protection Agency.
All right.
You know, how they doing down there?
Making sure everyone's doing all right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
In particular, we're going to the Columbia Solidarity Bridge.
Okay.
This bridge connects Texas and the Mexican state of Nuevo Laredo over the Rio Grande. So there you go. That's specifically where we're at.
Okay. I'm looking it up now so I can get a little bit of an idea. Let's
Paint,
see.
yeah, you want to try and paint the town a little bit better with this
Yeah,
with this story here.
Sure. There it is.
Yep.
It's a bridge.
What
I don't know.
an exciting report from Mike.
I didn't know what to expect.
What an exciting eyewitness report there.
There it is, folks. It's a bridge.
There is a bridge. Fantastic. Keep up the good work, Mike.
So, what happened at this bridge other than bridge things?
Yes, typical bridge things. Well, you know, on bridges, you know, typical bridge things, you know, people walk on the bridges and then try and bring stuff.
That's true. That's true. They do.
Apparently a large amount of baby wipes were being shipped over the bridge. You know,
Okay.
baby wipes, very, very
Yeah.
important. You know, get you.
It's keep the babies nice and clean.
Yep, very important.
Baby wipes, yeah.
Yep. That's when they decided, you know, this seems to be a lot of baby wipes here.
Too many baby wipes.
It's a little
Like there's
weird.
Like too many wipes for not enough babies.
Just seems a little weird there.
How many wipes?
Little odd there. Little big, little big there. Because they decided to do a second impromptu inspection.
Okay.
At that point, one of the inspectors happened to have a canine unit, and the canine went crazy. That is when they discovered, upon further inspection, that all of the baby wipe containers in this shipment was not full of baby wipes, but instead it was full of cocaine. Yes.
Yeah.
A whole mountain of cocaine here we're talking about here.
That must have been a huge amount. An entire shipping thing?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. And for those on the video feed, I have a photo of this incredible mountain. There you go.
Whoa.
All of that is full of cocaine.
That is huge.
Yes.
What is that sitting on? Is that a folding table?
Yes.
Okay, so for folks not on video, it is an entire, what I assume to be like an entire 6-foot folding table, and it is stacked a couple feet high.
Yes.
Like it is like it's like a small fort built of cocaine bricks.
It's more of a fort than it is items on a table.
Like, you know those like big Legos kids have? It's like a 5-foot fort made out of those, but the bricks are cocaine.
It's cocaine
and not
Legos.
plastic. It's cocaine Legos.
That's coming to Christmas. This Christmas.
Coming to Christmas this Christmas. Cocaine.
That's what cocaine will do to you. You keep using Christmas. Coming to Christmas this Christmas. Oh man.
It's a cocaine Christmas.
It's beginning to look a lot like cocaine.
Everywhere I snort. Take a trip down to the border and get a box of wipes. It's cocaine. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh my god. Record that for Christmas special. There
Yeah,
you go.
right? It's beginning to look a lot like cocaine. It's a cocaine Christmas.
There you go. Yes,
I love
the new Christmas single from the Crispy Noodle. It's beginning to look a lot like cocaine. Oh, boy.
Perfect.
Boy.
So, back to the story. What did they do when they found this cocaine winter wonderland in the back of this truck?
Well, they had
That's
to
a lot of powder.
Yes, they had to seize it and measure it. Altogether, they were able to find a total of 1,935 containers of baby, quote unquote, baby wipes.
Baby wipes
that were filled with 1,500 pounds of cocaine.
1,100. You said 1,100?
1,500
Oh,
pounds
500 pounds
of
Oh my
cocaine.
God. 1,500 pounds. That's a huge amount.
Yes. That is crazy.
I can't even.
That is absolutely crazy.
The elevators in my apartment only hold 350 pounds.
Yes.
Like, literally, you would need to take 5 trips in the elevator up and down if I wanted to bring all that cocaine up to my apartment.
If you're going to have your own cocaine Christmas.
If I wanted to have a... Coming to Christmas, this Christmas, you can have a cocaine Christmas in your apartment.
Do you like Christmas? I love Christmas. You love Christmas. It's coming.
I've been dipping into the Christmas cocaine a little bit.
I want like a coked up like QVC salesperson to try and sell you the Crispy Noodle CD that features is beginning to look like cocaine.
It's just going for 28 hours straight.
Yeah.
The same stream.
Do you love Christmas music? We do Christmas coming up. We got this for Christmas. Oh my God. You can listen to this song for 28 hours.
Cocaine.
Coming soon.
You just keep shouting until enough people call in to buy it.
You can listen to this for 30, 40, 50 hours. It's great. You just keep going.
I've been listening to a 30-hour straight. But yeah. So I mean, I could run it up and down the stairs, honestly, if I did that much.
Yeah, if you do a couple hits, there you go. You can run it up and down the stairs.
But otherwise, I would have to take 5 trips in an elevator. That's a crazy amount of cocaine.
Yeah, 1,500 pounds of cocaine, according to the release. The port director, Alberto Flores, says that this is a great example of border security management and how it prevents dangerous narcotics from reaching the communities. They are looking further into the seizure as to who exactly supplied the cocaine, and Homeland Security investigations will be tasked with this responsibility. So there you go.
Wow.
And also, by the way, fun fact, this was on CNN. So I don't know. That's
legit.
That's how you know, like, we're getting to be more mainstream now. I go to CNN now sometimes with my odd news stories.
Wow. The odd news has become mainstream.
Yes.
Yikes.
What is happening?
That's terrifying.
Everybody is on cocaine. That's the logic here.
So many people are on cocaine, they cover it in the mainstream news now.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go to weird stuff to...
Oh, by the way, of course, me bearing the lead here. What do you think the value of 1,500 pounds of cocaine is?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm going to say...
What do you think all that cocaine's worth?
I feel like it's easily $100 or more a pound. I feel like that's a good amount. So whatever 100 times 1,500 is, I can't do math. This is asking a lot. So 150K. It's got to be more than that.
Oh, it's more than that, buddy.
Way more. 300.
You're not even close, bud.
A million?
According to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection report, 1,500 pounds of cocaine comes out to a street value of $11.8 million.
Okay, I was way off.
Yes, you were. You are not a good drug dealer.
No, I'm not. Like, oh man, the discount cocaine. That sounds bad.
While there's still time. Everyone is smoking crack. But it's only a matter of time before they're overwhelmed. Run when you can!
There you go.
Okay, so I figured out the math. That is $7,866.66. Repeating, of course.
Oh, repeating, of course.
Dollars per pound.
Yeah, we need Leroy there.
That's what you sound like when you take that much cocaine. Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins should actually be the salesperson.
Let's do this. Cocaine Christmas.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, there you go. He's actually the salesperson.
I think he could move some product.
Yeah.
No, it's almost $7,900 per pound of cocaine.
Woo!
I was way off.
Yes, you were.
Damn.
You are not a good drug dealer.
No.
Do not trust Mike with your drugs.
No, do not do that. How much is that per ounce? That's like $500 per ounce. That's a lot. Why would anybody want to do that?
That's what keeps you going. I don't know.
Do you want little Billy to have a nice Christmas?
Yeah.
So what's $500 for an ounce of cocaine?
Yeah, just make Billy happy.
Make Billy happy. Give him the cocaine Christmas he wants.
Poor kid, he's flailing himself over The Last of Us Part 2.
If only I had more cocaine to numb the pain.
Oh, Abby! Oh, no, Joel, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. That's a weird episode.
And there you go. That's what I have for you this week in the odd news.
Cocaine Christmas and whipping people over, whipping myself over The Last of Us, apparently.
Yeah, that's apparently what you do. So I'm glad you were able to reveal that part of yourself here on the Crispy Noodle podcast.
Yeah, of course. No worries.
Yep. And don't worry, coming soon this Christmas.
Coming to a Christmas
this Christmas.
Cocaine.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I said I'm that tired. I need some cocaine at this
We
rate.
talked about at the top of the show how it felt like a dreary, cloudy day.
But then cocaine intervened.
That's right, and it burst through the clouds.
Yes, it made us all happy. So there you go. Cocaine Christmas. Coming this Christmas. Fantastic. And on that note, we got to start wrapping up this episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining us on this crazy enterprise that we call the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, The Crispy Noodle. Make sure you follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But more importantly, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, that you get our videos on Facebook, and you are also following us on Spotify. Those are the 3 ways that you can get the video version of the podcast. So you can see us, you can see some of the odd news topics we're talking about. It's the ultimate way to enjoy podcasts.
That's right. So many ways to enjoy the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Richard Liebig, RichLiebig. You can find us on Twitter. Let us know what's happening. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, you can tweet at one of us. If you have an odd news story that you want us to talk about, make sure you send it my way so that Mike remains fresh from the odd news story.
That's right.
And if we use your story, we'll give you a sausage shout out. So don't be afraid to tweet at us. The worst we can do is tweet back a gif at you enjoying cocaine or something. I don't know.
Okay then.
Look,
if you want cocaine,
Christmas.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's
you
coming.
Can't stop it. It's coming.
It's coming this Christmas, whether you like it or not.
It's very threatening cocaine.
Yes, it's very happy cocaine over the border. Coming soon. There you go. Mike is broken. There you go. Mike is broken. I'm just all over the place. So, you know, it's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for listening to the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. But for right now, that will do it. Enjoy football, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys
later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.